Travis, good afternoon. This is Mark Callahan from Unusual Machines. Here to demonstrate my fully loaded 2013 Nissan Juke. As you can see, we have a full assault weapons package on the top. We've got the, starting on the right hand side, we've got the helicopter rocket pad with 9 rockets in it. We've got a chain gun in the middle. It's a fully functional Gatling gun. And on the side, we've got 2 surface-to-air missiles. The entire package is operated by a manual console or a remote controlled unit. I wanted to use a much smaller remote control unit, like a key fob kind of thing. The problem with that is it only allows you to do one function at a time. So you could swing it right, bring up the rockets, bring up the gun, bring up the rocket pods. It would just take way too much time. So with this, we can do a few functions at once. Basically, this is the console that will be inside the car. The rest of it mounts wherever you'd like to mount it, on top of a car, on top of a truck, anything like that. It's fully powered up by vehicle power. This big one is the command link back to the console. This is to battery power. So first thing we do is turn the power on. Basically, that unlocks the entire weapon system. This red light is glowing, and you can see the missile's launch button is also glowing. Now, it kind of goes without saying that if you push the missile's launch button, really nothing is going to happen. That's for decoration only. It's not wired up to anything. It really doesn't launch. Now, the direction goes exactly as we see it here. The first one is going to be the rockets. If we move that up, we can see the rockets go up. It's a little bit slow, but the rockets on the left hand side are moving. The center one, of course, is the gun. That goes up a little bit quicker, down a little bit quicker. And the rocket comes a little bit below the horizontal if you wanted to kill somebody in a traffic jam, for example. The rocket pod, the up and down, also has a red button on it. That also is not wired to anything, so you will not launch your missiles. It's just not designed to do that. But the middle one, the gun, it is firing capable. And I'm doing that just by pressing the button. Center of the gun. Gun will fire at any position. The gun will fire while it's moving into position. On the extreme right, you're going to have the rockets up and down. Standard ground launch, air launched like helicopter missiles. And I'll show you those in a little bit. Left and right, pretty obvious by the control buttons, left and right. Now, which is left and which is right really depends on where you put the console. I'm looking at it right now, so it is moving opposite. But if I were inside the cab facing out the windshield, it would be moving the right way. So it really kind of depends on where you put the console. Now, the remote control, the standard off-the-shelf 9-function remote control. Everything works exactly the same as the console, but you can take this for a walk if you'd like. The important thing is the console has to be turned on. I've got to have this lit up red and that lit up red, or it just won't work because the receiver is inside the control box. To make it work, we got to push the green button once, and then we're all set. That turns on the remote control. Now if I go up, see on the far right, the rocket pod is going up, bringing that down as well. Number 1 is the gun that's going up, and that's going down. Number 3 is the rockets up and the rockets down. Again, that up and down is a little bit slow in the rockets. Unfortunately, that's just a bigger load. The motors work extra hard for it. Now, one of the functions I want to show you that applies for both the manual console and the remote control is if you hold these switches down. I'm still holding that gun switch down, but nothing's happening. The electronics up there on the gun, in the motor servo, they shut down the power, so it'll never overload on you. You don't need to worry about, oh my God, he's holding the switch down too far. Alright, so let's run this the rocket pod up. See that on the far left. Rocket pod comes down. Bring the gun up. Gun down. Gun fire. Any of these two buttons down here on the bottom. Either one makes that work. And then we can bring the let's see, surface-to-air missiles up. It's a little bit slower, but again, the surface-to-air missiles are a slightly larger load than the others. Goes up to about the same height. I can hold that button in forever in the up position. It's reached a maximum height, but I'm not smoking motors because the electronics are handling it. And then we can bring those down. Bring the whole thing left and right by using the east and west. Same thing again, it doesn't smoke anything up, the electronics are taking care of that. And we'll bring it around this way. See if we can look down the barrel of fate. There it is, there's the rocket pods, there's the gun. Let's bring that gun down just a little bit. And I hate to say this, you know the cliche's coming. Say hello to my little friend. When we're all done, we shut off the remote and we can shut off my car. Now this is the video that just shows the functionality. I'm going to make another video that shows how to connect everything because there's a lot of back and forth wires, especially up on the top. Little intro is we're using military style connectors for all these servos as well as the communications. Standard automotive, military, industrial workmanship. And like I said, I'll have that video for you really soon.